Okay, welcome back, everybody.
Welcome to the Anchor of the Week.
Yes, so good to be back in our kind of mini office.
A mini office, a forever shape-shifting studio.
Yes, we are. But yeah, at the moment we're in a time of kind of a little bit of transition, so we might have different backgrounds for the next couple of weeks.
Which is exciting.
We are. Yeah, it's exciting times. Courtney,
Yes.
what are we diving into today?
Okay. I am so ready for this.
This is good.
We're going to have a great time, guys. We are in our second week of our series on the World Wide Web, basically peeling back the layers of internet and technology, finding out what's really happening online
Yeah.
and what we're going to do about it.
Yes.
Because it's one thing to talk about everything that's bad, but we have a role to play as well.
Well, last week we talked about a lot about our responsibility.
Yes.
And today's a perfect week to kind of bounce
Exactly.
off that.
If last week was the big picture, so we talked about mental health and social media and who's really to blame, because everyone's blaming Facebook at this day and age and the point of recording. So our thing was, okay, but how much responsibility do we take? And we kind of, I feel like, gave a nice kind of overview of that.
Yep.
But now we're going to get super specific. And I'm talking, we commented, we found people
Yeah.
and asked them why they were doing what they were doing.
Yeah. They have a title,
Yes.
don't they? Let's go through that actually. I feel like it's better to start with that.
Thank you. They are internet trolls.
Yes. Internet trolls. What a
It feels weird saying.
Yeah, it does. But it's a thing.
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually have the genuine definition.
Yeah. So this, according to the BBC, a troll trolls are people who leave intentionally provocative or offensive messages on the internet in order to get attention, cause trouble, or upset someone.
Yeah.
That's kind of an awful name to have.
Not a nice title.
To be identified as.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, so kind of the basic idea for today is like we actually got in touch with a few of these people, like we said, and we literally asked them why they're doing this.
Yes. We will dissect those a little bit later on.
Yes.
Their comments, our responses, etc., and so forth.
But we want to dive into kind of like why they do this and
Exactly.
the motives behind things, you know?
Because of last week we were talking about having that social responsibility and of creating a safe space where people, can like foster like healthy mental health or just mental health, I guess. That's kind of redundant. Then what we need to do is like, okay, look at the specifics.
Yeah.
What do you do when there are a bunch of people out there that literally just hate comment, essentially?
Yeah.
I'm going to read some more things as well while we get our framework for this.
Yep.
Because in our research, because it's one of those things that kind of started out, I think, as like a slang thing.
Yeah.
And it's now like a legit
Genuine thing, yeah.
Yes, but according to, I hope I get your name right, I'm so sorry, Imran Ahmed, he is the CEO of the Center for Countering Digital Hate. Quite a job.
It is.
Quite a title. He says that there are two types of trolls, okay? The first one is a type of troll that targets public figures with large social media followings in the hopes that they respond, and then they would have their hateful messages rebroadcast to a wider audience when the target of their trolling or their followers respond, okay? And then people who exhibit, this is the second type, is people who exhibit a psychological trait known as negative social potency. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And this means that they enjoy causing harm to others, and these trolls get pleasure from upsetting those they target with abuse. So if their victims respond, it only encourages them to continue. So key point in both of those is don't respond.
Yeah. Because, I mean, one of them is very much like attention focused and they want attention. They're seeking attention.
Yeah.
And the other's just for their own amusement, which is sad, really.
It is sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we could just say, they're awful people. But is that true?
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Zach?
I think there's a few things to say, but we'll definitely start with kind of this isn't not trying to kind of defend them in any way because what they're doing is wrong, for sure. But also...
We are not fans of trolls.
Yeah, we are not, for sure not. But again, I think like we've tried to do is looking at both ends,
Always.
Of the spectrum. Again, they're humans. They're broken, so to speak. I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but they are broken. So
yeah. We all have issues.
Yeah, we do. And, clearly they're lacking in something, they're missing something in their life. So I guess social media can be very like, you see someone's accounts like, oh, they're living the high life, they're living this. And it's very much like, oh, they've got things that I don't have. And so I'm going to put them down about it, isn't it? It's Yeah, I think it just highlights this behind this.
We're having a technical difficulty with our couch.
But they're clearly lacking in something, and I guess they're trying to fill that void almost, or just make themselves feel better by putting others down.
Yeah. Which, again, like is awful, but no, like you have to look at it, I think, in a sense that no person that is truly content with their life would actually do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, why would you bother?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were asking questions kind of in prep to this what side of them does it really show? Is it their true self, or is it actually a side that isn't real? Because they're behind a screen, would they actually come up to this person's, face and say these things to their face?
Yeah. But which one's the hiding one?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that is also the thing with social media and, cyberbullying and all of that. Again, we touched on this a little bit in our last episode, but to kind of dive into it a bit deeper, like it is this whole idea of you can say whatever you want with zero repercussions.
Yeah.
And there are and again, we'll get to it, I don't want to tease everything when we look at our comments and everything. But there's a lot of people that definitely hide, that are just troll accounts. And there's no name, no picture. Like it's so anonymous that it's like, I don't know, it's like how do we even expose, if we want to call this exposing the trolls or unmasking the trolls, then how do you even do that when it's like, there's no connection? Do you know what I mean? It's almost like they've dehumanized themselves in order to dehumanize someone else.
Yeah. Well, it's like, it looks like the account is purely created just to feed into their kind of whatever they're missing, or whatever they're lacking in. Kind of. It's really weird.
It is actually a very strange concept.
Yeah.
If you think about it. But again, then you have to ask, at what point, like how did you get to that point? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where you think that that's kind of okay.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think? Just going back to kind of my comment on, do you think it's actually showing their real self, though, when they make this? Because, or do you think it's
well, do you believe humans are innately good or not?
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of conversation we're about to crack open, but.
I mean, don't want to sidetrack too much, but it's just interesting to me because you're behind a screen. There's so many barriers. There's no implications really. I mean, that's a whole other topic, but just so you can say whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. It's kind of like you're not actually, there's no repercussions for you.
Yeah.
Is there? So your actions don't mean anything. Kind of thing, almost that's the perspective you're taking when you make these comments and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know when I'm having a conversation with you, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but the things I say, they have.
Well, you see the look on my face. If you were to say an awful thing to me, to my face, merited or not, you would see the pain on my face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think again, we talked about this. Yeah, I think we're going to talk about this a lot, to be honest, in this series. But empathy, where is the empathy? And that is something I think that we have lost or really struggle with maybe maintaining when you are anonymous.
Yeah.
And I think because we've put our lives out there to be judged, you know what I mean? I don't think we do it on purpose. Okay, well, I'm going to put this out there so someone can judge me.
Yeah.
But it is a part of the nature, right?
Yeah.
And that vulnerability. People are going to judge me.
Yeah.
And we talked about this before as well. Why are people being exploited for their vulnerability? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, social media nowadays is very personal,
Yeah.
I guess it always has been, but now it's you see everything, our lives are lived on these things.
Before it was, we lived our lives and then social media or Instagram, for example, was a supplement because you would just take photos. It was an online photo book. But now with stories and lives and all of this, it's it's switched. It feels like life is lived on social media and then our real lives are the supplement.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's true. And so I can see everything that's going on in your life if you're super active on there. So you're so vulnerable with me. And if that vulnerability is given to, I say the wrong hand, then what do you expect, but.
Can we control that though?
Yeah. I mean.
Yes and no, right?
Yeah. To certain extents we can, yeah. Making, what is it? I mean, I don't even know what you can.
You can block, you can delete, you can mute people.
You have to friend request people and then they allow it and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
exactly. Exactly. Message requests. And I think in that aspect, I want to give Instagram a little bit of credit because they at least make it quite easy to kind of limit.
Yeah.
Because when in preparation for research for this episode, we were trying to look for trolls, right? And we went to like big celebrities, and there were a bunch that said comments on this post have been limited. I was like, I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah.
But I think Hailey Bieber was one of them. And it must be something like only people that you follow can comment or something like that. Mm-hmm. But it happened a couple times, remember, when I was looking through different things.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my gosh, like this is something that has been put in place like to like, I think, prevent trolls, like for example, or people with negative, hurtful comments, which is actually really cool.
Yeah.
But it's also very sad that has to be a thing.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm vulnerable with you, for example, if we're good friends, which we are,
Sorry guys, we're just gonna have a little chat now.
But you know, like I'm vulnerable with you. I trust you. You know, you're not gonna take this information away and just go and downgrade it or whatever. You know, so
or you inappropriately handle it. Mishandle it.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for. A mishandle.
But you know, you're not, and it's like social media's. It's hard to control that. You know, you have followers who follow you they're not your friends. You know, I mean, influencers, things like that. They just, you know, people are followed because of the content they're giving out and stuff, and there's no real relationship there, is there? So it's a hard one. I don't know.
Because of course you want to say, okay, well, look, trolls are awful. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like block them all, delete them all. If you are struggling with a troll, please block or delete the comment. Like create boundaries.
Yeah.
But also, I think it's difficult because we're talking about, you know, we can't lose empathy, right? So we can't lose empathy and then feel like we can say whatever we want to whoever we want.
Yeah.
But also when looking at trolls, I feel like it's very important that we do not lose empathy for them.
Yes.
Because then it's very easy to do essentially what they are doing back to them. And it just repeats like a cycle and it fosters a very negative online space.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see later again, kind of with one of the interactions we had, you know, I think our response could have very much been about the things that they had said, but
we chose not to.
Yeah, we chose not to dive into that, but just because we're not here for that sort of thing. But I think if we did, it would have just been a back and forth kind of madness.
Would it have ever ended?
Yeah.
You know, because you can argue your point until you're blue in the face, you know, like, but not even really because you're not speaking.
Yeah.
Like on social media, I feel like it can go so much further than it can go in person.
Yeah. Do you think what they do is like worse than if I was to say it to you face to face?
You know what? Yes and no. Yes, because again, it's like dehumanizing because you have no like preconceived notions. You have no backstory. You have no, like, it feels very harmful. Do you know what I mean? Because you actually don't know me.
Yeah.
Whereas if you were to say something to my face and I knew you, you know, or at least we had some sort of social interaction, I feel like it would come with a different weight. But then I also think it would mean more. You know what I mean? Like,
to you or like
if
to the
someone
one
says something
receiving
to me in face, because I'm like, well, now you see me, either you see me, you know me, you can see the hurt on my face, but you're still choosing to say it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So face to face is worse, right?
Yes and no.
Like, do you know what I mean though? Like,
yeah.
Like, how would the other version? It's just interesting. It's looked at as, which it is such a bad thing, but it's like when we're trying to like look at them from like as if they're humans. You know, these guys are broken as well, and so are we. You know, they're just, I guess their way of letting out that steam, so to speak, is by doing this. You know, our way could be differently. You know, it could be not accepting what you're saying, or I don't know, just
different things.
Yeah, there's different ways of letting that out.
Yeah,
but
wow,
interesting.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
Should we jump right in?
Let's do it.
Yeah, guys, we've been teasing you enough, and honestly, I feel like this will give us a better look or a better framework. So first of all, we trolled the trolls, essentially, is what we did, okay? And basically, we went through so many different like celebrities or public figures pages and tried to look for comments like trolling them.
It was not easy.
It was very interesting because it wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be.
I feel like it's gotten a lot better. I mean, it still happens loads, but
I also wonder, do they have people that go and delete posts
yeah,
for
I
them?
wonder, yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like negative comments, or which honestly, yeah, great. Like, yeah. And to be fair, and also to clarify, a troll is not someone that gives constructive criticism. A troll is someone that's like being mean.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah. But I feel like we're going to get a decent example from this one.
Yes.
Of someone who says they were trying to give.
Some good feedback.
Yeah. Anyway.
Jury's still out on that one if they really are. You guys can be the judge. But also, just want to say, this is the only person that responded to us. We messaged about, or like commented on about 5 to 6 people.
Yeah.
About 6 people.
Yeah.
Some of them were clearly like troll bots. No profile picture, no posts, a random kind of name. And some of them were horrible.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which is so sad. But
Yeah.
yeah, appreciate it. That's what happens in this world.
It
Or
is.
in the World Wide Web.
Yeah, on the World Wide Web.
Yeah.
But this one is on a picture of Emma Chamberlain, everyone. If you don't know who Emma Chamberlain is, she's one of the most popular, apparently. I don't follow her. But she
I
has...
actually didn't even know.
Wait, I got to go back to her profile because I got to see how many followers she has. But it's something crazy. Like
Millions.
14 million or something like that. I think she started out as a YouTuber. And I just know a lot of people like her now. But this is our text conversation. Would you like to go for it, Zach?
Go for it. Okay.
Or not text, comment conversation.
Yeah, we won't say who it is. I mean, there's no point in doing that. But
If you want, just look at Emma Chamberlain's last post.
his name's Grant. So his comment, first was, "You are rich. We don't care."
It's a photo of her looking a little bit. It's like a close up of her face with like some tears.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I don't know
if you can
showing
see
the
that.
camera or not, but yeah.
Look it up if you want to.
Yeah. You are rich. We don't care. So
Thanks.
Yeah, good. Thanks for that. Hi, Grant. We just wanted to know why you commented this and what you're expecting to happen from it. So that was us.
Yeah. We commented that almost that exact same thing on a lot of different troll comments.
Yeah. Again, like, we weren't there to, I don't know, we tried to be as kind of, I don't know if civilized is a word, but just
unbiased, straight down the middle. Just literally, what was your motivation for commenting this?
Yeah. So he goes, Emma's post is just another example of social media purely for attention. She is among the most privileged in our society on a large range of measurements. She came from a privileged household, but more importantly, is among the wealthiest of Americans now. She's societally attractive, and I'm sure not only have tons of fame, but tons of friends / wannabe friends. She has basically everything most people could even want, and then still makes a sappy, quote unquote, I'm sad post on Instagram for attention. Sorry, Emma, but everyone else's life is harder or just as hard. Please spare us the sad face post.
We got a monologue. He had thought about that.
Yeah, he did. And yeah.
And
Anyways,
so what did we say?
yes. So we said, appreciate you responding, mate. This was me. You can tell because I said mate. But,
Yeah, not me.
I do see where you're coming from. What did you hope to achieve by posting this, though? And then he just responded, last one, maybe she will see my comment and have a little more self-awareness. So so that was our conversation.
Yeah.
If we attack this from purely like the motive and the reasoning behind it, I mean, when you read his first comment, you are rich, we don't care. It's very hard to take kind of, and then we asked him what his motive was. Maybe she will see my comment and have a little more self-awareness. I don't know. Does that show?
I don't think saying we are
that?
rich, I don't care.
We don't
care.
Yeah.
Provokes self-awareness. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, to me, that just says, oh, okay, then I'll just shut up.
Yeah.
If you really want to do a comment about self-awareness, you would
go into a little bit more of this.
Of the meaty piece he gave us.
Yeah. And we didn't want to attack the meaty bit. I mean, we're going to talk about it a little bit, but
because there's some gold in there.
There is, yeah. There's a lot of things we could have responded, but
but
again,
we,
just
for research sake, wanted to keep it clinical.
Just on the motives. So yeah, it's hard. It's really hard to believe or kind of accept that was his motive with saying this comment, because you are rich, we don't care. That's more like, well, I don't know how that's supposed to help her.
I think that just feels like a very personal thing.
It is personal. Let's dive into what he said. I mean, I feel like there's a few different things that we could dive into.
He attacked her upbringing,
Yes.
for one.
Yeah.
Which, privilege or not, she kind of has no say in that.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, I feel like the clear and obvious is like, you know, what value are we really going to get from just, it's her social media, right? She can post what she likes. Or does she have a responsibility now that she's got so many followers?
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
I mean, that's where,
See,
you know.
where do you take? Because, guys, we're all about that social responsibility.
Yeah.
But where is the line that you do not cater everything towards what people might think?
Yeah. I mean, this is literally a picture of her upset, isn't it?
Maybe. It's actually a very like artistic
There's no
picture.
caption, is there? Yeah, there's no caption.
Like it's quite artsy.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like I'm gonna get judged for saying that.
yeah, I feel like she's, you know, in terms of like a responsibility and things, she's not voiced her opinion on like a political issue or something. I don't know.
Is someone with 14 million followers allowed to be sad?
Yes, aren't they? So that's what I mean. It's not. There's nothing. Again, who are we to kind of say what's right and wrong? I guess, but I feel like there's a.
I feel like we're going to.
I feel like we are, yeah. But again, that's not wrong. There's nothing wrong with, I guess, being upset online.
No.
You know, I think if anything, it just shows vulnerability. But yeah,
There would be a fine line if you're like, if it was a pity thing.
yeah,
And there was a comment about feel so bad for me, my life is awful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no, then you have to say, comparatively speaking, your life is quite great.
Yeah.
You know, but isn't it like a common thing, you know, that everyone says that like the more exposure you get, the more fame you get, the more money you get, the harder your life also gets.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? So I almost would say like, she has a more reason than me to be sad and upset.
Yeah.
But I mean, isn't it kind of a well-known fact though, that like the more exposure you have, the more fame you have, the more money you have, also the more problems you have? Like, I feel like that's
Yeah.
something that like we say all the time, you know?
loads more responsibility. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
More money, more problems.
He talks about it as if she shouldn't have the problems because
Yeah.
of those things. You know, he said society attractive, and I'm tons of fame, tons of friends / wannabe friends.
Who wants wannabe
Yeah,
friends?
I
Like to
know.
me, like you're describing actually a very sad
know.
life.
You know, she basically has everything most people could want, and then still makes a happy. Yeah, so yeah,
But doesn't that prove that you can have everything you want in life,
Yeah, it
but
does.
still be unfulfilled?
yeah, you know, like obviously, and don't want to accuse him of loads, but just his priorities are in things that won't actually bring you happiness.
Yeah, like I kind of
Really.
just want to be like, yo, dude, hate to
Yeah,
break it to
need
you,
to
but
figure this out. Yeah,
yeah.
we had a couple. Well, you took a couple screenshots of other people's stories and stuff, because obviously we talked about the
Yes.
DMs and stuff. Is
Yeah.
that on your phone? Is
Oh
it?
yeah, it's on my phone. Look at us being all tech savvy. But actually, very interestingly enough, guys, that was probably the most tame comment that
we could find.
we could find.
Yeah.
We commented on a lot of other, and like the ones from the more like troll accounts, kind of like anonymous ones.
Yeah.
Were horrible.
Yeah.
Like vulgar language, racial slurs, like
Yeah.
unreal, y'all.
Yeah.
Just wanted to also give context for that because you might be saying, oh, that's not that bad. But like,
yeah.
it gets so bad.
It does get a lot worse. Yeah.
so funny enough, this one is a DM. And this girl, her name is Stephanie Lang or Lange. I'm actually not sure how to pronounce her name. But she is kind of like a fitness beauty influencer, one of those people.
Yep.
But she posted a screenshot from her DMs. And as we were trying to find comments, right, we were saying, oh, it's so hard. But then we were saying, oh, but a lot of the things that we hear, you know, from celebrities or like this, like influencers and screenshots and all of that, it largely comes in DMs or like message requests, which just adds another layer to that anonymity,
Yeah.
right?
It does.
Like you're already hiding behind a screen, but now you can just tell that person.
Yeah.
You don't have to have backlash or like quote unquote risk people defending that person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I think is extremely interesting.
Not seen by anyone else. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
Well, this was.
yeah, this was because Stephanie was like, I'm gonna out you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read it. I'm going to censor it.
Yeah, filter.
a little bit of censoring. But basically, it says, you look like a zombie. You look like a freak. You're ugly. Your child doesn't deserve a mother like you. A very inappropriate word. I hope you, for lack of a better word, end life. Maybe.
Yeah.
One day. so he doesn't have to grow up with a bleep horrible mother like you in his life.
That's sad. Yeah.
What on earth?
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that just highlights they're missing things in their life. And yeah.
Which is interesting because we then, Zach and I being the nosy people we are, went and stalked that person. Because Stephanie left her name in it, which I was like, you know what? Yeah, do it. And it was like, oh, like, I don't know. It just felt very like.
She seemed kind of cool. Not cool, but
normal, but also like you're missing something.
Yeah.
Almost a little bit proving.
But, I see what you mean. Yeah, sure. But it wasn't like a troll account type.
No, it was a real person.
Yeah. But you could tell from the post that they.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then Stephanie then on the next story, writes basically, honestly, a lot of the time I just don't even want to come on here or on YouTube because she's also a YouTuber. As reading what people say to me sometimes really gets to me. Usually if I go quiet on here or YouTube, it's because I need a break from it. Basically, I love what I do and I love with all my heart, like the people who support me, but bleep me, social media can be vicious at times. And then right after that, literally like the story after that was somebody else basically saying, like another public figure, actually like a pastor of a church, basically saying like, I've been silent. Sometimes I deactivate my account. I've made my account private. I've turned off my messages because like, even though I love receiving messages and stuff, the few nasty people basically have forced her hand and she's got to put a lot more boundaries. But something she says, I found people have lost perspective of respect and say whatever they want, often cruel, insensitive, and unfair.
Yeah. See that real quick.
Yeah. Oh, I just locked it.
That's cool. It's interesting that like, I don't know, they seem very, like just looking at, you look like a zombie, you look like a freak. I don't know, it's like she's just dishing out things for the sake of dishing it out. And they're not even...
There's nothing constructive about that. You can't even hide behind the guise of constructive criticism, like our buddy Grant on Emma's post.
Yeah. I don't know, it's super interesting. It's like, it's not like, it is personal, but it's not about them actually, is it? Really?
I think when it comes down to it, it's one of those things. Well, it reminds me of our podcast on rejection. It's not personal. Remember that one?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It was like when someone's rejecting you, you have to see it from the side of they're dealing with something. And so it's not necessarily something about you. Do you know what I mean? And I think in this sense, like you have to look at it that way because if not, you will lose your mind. You will, yeah. You know, you look like a zombie. I mean, what does that even mean? I don't know.
Do you know what I mean? So,
well, she's just a very pretty girl. Like, I don't.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like,
yeah.
You know, would you care a lot if just some stranger out of nowhere doesn't know you? There's no relationship, no friendship between you guys. Is just saying these things to you. Would you be super bothered?
Yeah, honestly, I would. But maybe people's sensitivity.
Yeah, like, what is it? Is it just because they're like hurtful things to say? I don't know. It's just like because there's nothing really about you necessarily, is it?
I think it's the argument of you don't know my life.
Yeah.
How can you say those things about me?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that whole aspect of you literally have just gone out of your way to comment on me, on my appearance, on my, privilege, my whatever it is.
Yeah.
You like came out of your way to do that.
It just, So it feels like that should be an encouragement, if anything, to be like, these comments are coming from, I don't know, it's more about themselves and reflecting on their hearts and stuff like that.
Because honestly,
yourself.
Yeah, as we said at the beginning, like no one in like that top youth or life would ever comment that. And like those comments, right, for Stephanie, like literally no one can be happy with where they are in life and are like living a healthy life and feel the need to say something like that.
Yeah.
Or things like that.
Yeah.
But then I guess what this kind of leads us to is what do we actually do about it?
Yeah.
You know, as we always like to end with a little bit of reflection and yeah. Like how do we go forward from this?
Well, I mean, we're just highlighting what we just talked about, but it's not personal. I think that's a key thing. I appreciate if you're the one being trolled, I think then just remember, I think a lot of times fact, 99% of the times, it'll come from a place of they're just in a bad place.
Yeah.
They're reflecting on their own life or just their struggles.
Or they feel bad about something, so they need to make you feel worse, like a superiority, inferiority kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think as well, like, we need to just like really fight for like keeping humans. Mm-hmm. And again, we touched on this earlier, but like the idea that technology and social media, like we live most of our life now online as opposed to the opposite way around, right?
Yeah.
And like, we have to remember that no matter like what we're doing or what we're commenting, that there is another person on the other side of that screen.
Yeah.
But as we said, but the trolls are people as well.
Yeah.
And I think that if we keep humanizing it and we don't let technology dehumanize us, you know, because we can make all the amazing AI things we want, but they will never replace a human. You know, humanity has so much value and like purpose. And, you know, we were created with emotions and with empathy and with compassion and with dreams and all these things that you can't teach a robot.
Yeah.
You know, and I think to remember that, like that is a human on every side of the screen, no matter which side you're looking at it from, it's another person.
Yeah.
And I think we really need to fight to keep on humanizing people. We really need to fight to keep on saying, like, I will choose to have compassion. I will choose to like have empathy. I will choose to hold my tongue. I will choose to speak life and encouragement.
Yeah.
You know, like from every side.
Yeah. It's easy to underestimate the power of that,
big time.
Yeah. And, you know, question someone on it. I mean, it's a simple question, but there's no doubt he just, you know, surely looking back at that, he'd be like, okay, like clearly the message wasn't received on that simple comment of, you know, you're rich, we don't care. So, you know, it does make him think about things. So call people out, you know, in a
good way.
Yeah,
obviously,
way,
don't do it to give them the attention that they want. And if you are being trolled, as we said, please block, delete, limit comments, go private, whatever it is.
Because you're able to do things like that, aren't you? So
yeah.
Awesome.
This has been a wild episode, guys. At least for us. This has been one of the most interesting ones to prepare for.
Yeah. We enjoyed it.
Yeah. Now, before we go, because we're on the topic of the World Wide Web,
want to share this,
I really want to share this because I feel like this could open up so much. Love him or hate him, Donald Trump.
That's it again.
He is. He's here. He's still here, y'all. But he is creating his own social media platform called Truth Social. I'm gonna pull it up again because
I haven't read the full article yet, but
I haven't read the full thing. But basically his whole thing is it will be to create a rival to the liberal media consortium. I don't even know what that word is. I am so sorry. Can I get a definition? And fight back against the big tech companies of Silicon Valley. Interesting.
Yeah.
Literally, our friend actually, Sammy, who's an avid listener of this podcast.
She needs a shout out. Actually.
She does.
Sammy really needs a shout
out. Sammy's one of our loyal ones.
She is.
And I know she's listening to this like the day after we release it. Every Wednesday morning. Yeah. But basically, she sent us both this today. So we haven't really actually like looked through it all. But I am excited to look through this.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's in the name, but I wonder what it is going to be.
Wonder what it's going to be, because you know what? That means then we have to decide that there is no relative truth and that there is one absolute truth.
Yeah. And
if you're going to call it True Social.
Yeah. It sounds like there's a lot of chaos that's going to...
This is going to be a fun one.
Yeah.
I can feel it already. It's going to be... It's going to be a time.
Next week, for next episode.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be on the streets.
Yes.
Yeah. It's been a while.
It's been a long while since you've been on the streets.
Yeah, too long. But we're going to get perspectives from the people. And
as we love to do.
Yeah. So hopefully gather some decent thoughts on that. Not just our perspectives and stuff.
Of course. Yeah. And until then, as we're talking about social media, make sure you find us on social media.
Yes.
At the Anchor of the Week. Comment, send us messages. Yeah. Whatever. We love to be in touch with you. Yeah. Let us know your thoughts, things you want to hear, or even if you have anything to add to any of our episodes, we would love to hear it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Otherwise, have a great week, team, and we'll see you next one.